What's up, everybody? It's Matt from 9 Day Performance, and that's Austin, who's always trying to be shy. On the dyno today, we have the 426 owned by our customer up out of Odessa that came in with a blown engine. 17,000 miles. The dealership voided his warranty, and we took care of him. We put a 426 stroker, FRP MOAB cam in it, some other goodies along the way, and we got everything dialed in on the streets. Now we're over at our buddy CNZ Performance, Dyno, and we're going to go ahead and get this one dyno tuned and go ahead and see how much power it makes. Make sure you guys leave in the comments how much power you think this one's going to make at the end. And we'll make sure to show you the video so you can see the full results on how much power this one's laying down. And if you need any of these parts, 9dayperformance.com, or you can shoot us a message, 713-344-2191. Let's get over to the dyno.
Alright, so as you can see on the screen, we have our dyno results, and the results are in 509 rear wheel horsepower and 525 pound-feet of torque. Now these numbers, some people are going to say should be higher, and they're going to ask, why do we have a 426 stroker with a cam that's making numbers closer to what a 392 would make max effort with a cam? Well, it's because of future upgrades. Whenever we do these builds, we always ask the customer first what their goal is and why they're building the vehicle. This particular customer told us that his interest and his needs were to rebuild the engine because initially it came in with a blown up motor. So the rotating assembly was trash. It spun a rod bearing, it ate up the bearings, ate up the internals. So we wanted to put new internals in it. So we had it bored 10 over so we could clean up the cylinder walls. And then we went ahead and got an FRP stroker kit. Now, keeping in mind future upgrades, I asked the customer if he wanted to do max effort NA, or if he wanted something kind of mid-range, or if he wanted something that he was going to do upgrades later on to, like boost, etc. And he expressed to us that at the current moment, his main goal was to get the engine built because it was blown up, and he wanted to have it where he makes a lot of power now, but can still add a supercharger later. Now, yes, we can go ahead and just put higher compression and, not worry about it. However, when you start bumping compression up a lot, it starts requiring E85, stuff like that. So we wanted to keep it on 93 because the customer, 91, because he lives up near Odessa. So when we did this build, we were keeping in mind that a Pro Charger would be coming into play later on. So I want to say this stroker particularly was like 10-5 to 1 on the compression. If we were going to do more compression like 11 to 1, 12 to 1, or high compression like 13, 14 to 1, it would have made substantially more power. But because we're worried about a Pro Charger later, we kind of did a mid-range compression so that we could keep it friendly. So 10-5 to 1, I believe, is what the compression was on this one, which is going to be good for NA now, good for boost later. If we did a 9-5 to 1, they would have been really not worth it. Anymore on the newer cars, low compression like that is not needed. So we built this one with that in mind. Now, the MOAB cam is not traditionally designed for boosted applications. However, it will work with his Pro Charger. If he was doing a Whipple or a Magnuson, we probably would have chose a different cam. But this MOAB can work fine with the Pro Charger with the proper tuning. We also discussed intake manifolds. The customer, when I told him about this cam that we were going to do, because we're doing a stroker, we were able to do a much larger cam. However, it needs a better intake. The stock 6.4 intake manifold is okay, but this one really needed a high ram because of the size of this camshaft. But the customer didn't want to do that at the current moment. He said later on he's going to do a high ram and probably the Pro Charger. He's going to build it up as he goes. So he's going to substantially make more power as he goes compared to making it all right now. I'm going to throw on the screen two other cars that we did. Both are 392s. Both have cams such as the Tomahawk. I believe both of these are, yeah, they're both Tomahawk 2.0s. So you're going to see 499.99 rear wheel horsepower, 500 on the dot. But if you look at the torque numbers on the auto car, the 499 is an auto car, makes 480 pound-feet of torque. Now, keeping this in mind, because the car that we just did this 426 MOAB in is also an auto car. The one that makes 500 is a manual car. They tend to make more torque than the auto cars do. So with that one being said, you have to realize that he's picking up 45 foot-pounds of torque by having a little bit larger of a cam and overall a 426. So this 426 car is going to have a lot more torque, a lot more get up and go than the NA car, the 392 car that's with, say, a Tomahawk 2.0, which is still a pretty substantially sized cam. It's not as big as the MOAB, but I'd say the difference between the two is usually about 15 to 20 horse. With this one, if we put a high ram on it, I'd say I would expect the 426 to be around the 530 to 540 rear wheel horsepower range. Just because there's a restriction right now, which is the intake manifold. That's why it's at that lower 509. So we can gain a lot of power with the high ram, which he's going to be doing later on. But for right now, we built this based on the expectation that the customer was going to go with a Pro Charger later, and he wanted something NA he could drive on 91 octane up near Odessa, have fun with, have more power, because ultimately whenever he had the damaged crankshaft, we couldn't just do drop-in pistons and rods like we were initially wanting to do. We had to do a crankshaft anyways, which is where the stroker kit came into place. So if you guys have any questions regarding strokers, you can leave those in the comments section. I'll read the comments and get to them as I can. But I wanted to go over that because I know when people see these horsepower numbers, they're going to say, man, that's a lot of work for basically 510 rear wheel horsepower. You have to realize certain things. More torque. This is going to be geared to use a high ram later, unlike the other cams. This is geared for a Pro Charger later on, so the compression is still friendly where he can put a Pro Charger on and not immediately have to go E85. And things like that would have been a little different if we would have done higher compression. So it's all about the build. That's why whenever we do builds, I ask the customer, what are their end goals? What are their aspirations? What do they want the car to be able to do? What are they planning on changing with the vehicle? All of those things are very important when we're discussing camshaft selection, stroker selections, etc., etc., etc. So to answer the question, yes, we could have made more power with this one by going with a higher compression. We could have made more power by going with a high ram right now, but ultimately this engine was not designed to make its potential right now. It was designed to have a lot of power, be snappy, be torquey, and still be ready to add a Pro Charger later on down the line and add a high ram and take advantage of all the power levels. So stay tuned. We do have a few drivability things to work out later on once we do the high ram on this car, because it does have a 4,000 stall. It does have a really, really big cam. So some of the idle things that you are going to hear in the reaction video whenever he starts driving, we have to tweak those a little bit. But at the end of the day, it made good power. It sounds good. Let's get back to the video and let's see what happens when Tristan takes the customer on a test drive the following day.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tristan at 9-Day Performance. Another beautiful day here in Houston. We are wrapping up the 426 build with the MOAB. Gonna go ahead and go on a test ride with the customer and get his reaction. Think so far, Moses?
It's good. I like it. It sounds good.
Hell yeah.
Happy it's been a year. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
So I can drop it in gear. I can do whatever.
You drive it how you
drive it how I usually do.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, it's shaking. It's thumping.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I'm liking it.
Love it.
I am liking it.
Go out to the left.
To the left.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Man, it got some big kickback.
Moab, this does have a MOAB FRP cam as well as a 4,000 stall converter. Usually, you know, with most people, they think that these aren't very drivable at this level, but I tell you, I would still daily this car. So.
Okay, it's gotta take some getting used to the throttle. Yeah. I mean, it's all part of the learning process.
You're gonna follow that car, just went to the right, we'll go to the light, take a right.
Just out to the right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, man. It's smooth.
You love it, don't
It's
you?
smooth, I love it.
Good. Hell
It's
yeah.
my first cam car I ever had, so it's gonna be a learning process.
Yeah. And that is the one part to a converter that just kind of you just kind of got to live with and learning process.
Yeah.
But I mean, personally, I got a 4600 stall in that truck. Take it right. Yeah. Once we get back on that road to the right again, you should be able to get on it. If you you get up to like 30, 40, and then roll into it, but then just mash it, it shouldn't spin too bad.
Yeah. It's just the stopping where it's a big cam. It's kind of like, oh shit, the thing's gonna die, but then it don't.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a growing stone too, you know. Oh shit. Okay, to the right here. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you can kind of roll into it and just go ahead and go for it.
Okay, you said like 30, 40.
Yep. You can go ahead and start rolling in.
Man, I rode into it quite a bit. Oh shit. That thing gets up and fucking goes.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's fucking nice. That's beautiful.
And that's what we like to do for our customers here at
Man,
9 Days.
that's just in drive.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh, Moses gonna get us in jail. Oh no.
Oh man, I'm a crazy bag. Man, it's just it's perfect. Man, it's just good. The only thing you can notice about it is whenever you're coming to a stop and you're there at a stop sign. That's about yeah, but rather than that, I mean, it drives good. You got the fucking power there.
Yep. And again, that's why, like we were talking with Ryan, the preferable intake to use is the high ramp, just because it'll keep a lot of that low end gas behind
Man, can't wait to go on my radio
it. So how you feel about it, Moses?
Good, I'm happy with it. It's been a long journey. Happy to be back in it. Like I said, it's just a growing stone. You know, getting used to a cam car, first one.
Not to mention a stroker.
Yeah, stroker too. So it's good. I'm happy with the Satisfy.
That's what we like to hear. That and RPM.
Yeah, I like it because I can still drive it a little bit
this build. See you guys next time.